Hi, welcome back to the BoPo Besties podcast. We are super excited for this episode. It's going to be about Saucye West, brands and how they profit off of social justice movements and the realities of being an influencer. And we're super excited to get into these topics. So let's get started. Who is Saucye West? Well, I guess I'm going to answer that question. Okay. So she is a fat Black creator. I believe she's also an author, a speaker. She is a lot of things, and she is also a changer, a mover, a shaker.
A pioneer.
Yeah. And if you are in the body positivity space and you haven't heard of Saucye West, you need to go out and search for her and find her fight for inclusivity, because it's really important in producing change in this space. And she even had a hashtag. What was it, Natalie?
Fight for inclusivity and fat and free.
Yeah, fat and free. So she has a couple different initiatives that she's working on. And the Fight for Inclusivity one is super important because it's about brands, including those who are above a 3X. So do you want to talk more about the Fight for Inclusivity?
Yeah, that's one of her most recent initiatives, and she created a bunch of graphics that she posted on Instagram about certain brands who need to be boycotted because they are not truly size inclusive but are branding themselves as such, and also a list of brands that we should support because they are doing the work and they are nearly or completely size inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that size inclusive in itself is a whole topic of technically that would be every single size.
Mm-hmm.
We know that's nearly impossible unless you're doing custom. So I think with her initiative, Size Inclusive, I believe, was it a 28 plus or a 30 plus?
I don't know which, but I know it was her
above.
Focus is over 3-4X.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was if they only carry to a 26, they're not considered size inclusive. They have to be carrying at least a 28, 30 or above to be truly size inclusive under her initiative.
So for instance, Eloquii didn't make the cut.
Eloquii did not make the cut, which is heartbreaking for us because we work with them and we really love their stuff.
Yeah.
I know they do offer some things in a 28, but it's a limited selection. And I think hopefully I'm hoping this initiative kicks their butt a little bit to say, okay, we're already making some things in a 28. Why don't we just make everything? And hopefully then size up to at least a 30. But there were a lot of popular brands that did not make the cut, such as Eloquii, Fashion to Figure, I believe, was on that list. What else was on the boycott list?
I think Unique Vintage. And she also points out when they maybe go up to a larger size, say 5X, but it's not actually...
The size chart's not accurate.
Yeah, not accurate.
Which is a common problem.
I believe Shein is one that...
Shein's definitely on that list. They only go up to a 20.
Yeah.
A 20.
You do a 5X and... And even sometimes the measurement, it's
Forever
wild.
21 plus only goes up to a size 20, 22.
I'm sure Boohoo is on there.
Boohoo, I think, only goes up to a 22.
Maybe Fashion Nova.
Fashion Nova, I think, also goes up to a 22.
So, but the thing is, a lot of these are very accessible because they are, affordable.
A lot were fast fashion, affordable brands,
And then you look at the list of the ones who are truly inclusive, like Universal Standard, Loud Bodies, things like that. You start to go and check them out, or sometimes it's like Nomad Swimwear, where it's a very specific thing that you're going to be purchasing there. It's just swimwear.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can get anything and everything at these places, and it's not like you can get it for super affordable prices.
I don't think a single fast fashion brand made it to the inclusive list. I don't personally know of a single fast fashion brand that goes up to even a 26.
Yeah.
I don't know any that goes above like a 24 or 22. So I know that there's really no fast fashion brand on that list, which is a huge issue because a lot of people in America, a lot of people in the world are lower income that can't afford, a $50, $100 pair of jeans.
Yeah, and so not only is she calling for these brands to make some change.
Should we pause because the dogs are barking? Moose!
Come here.
Okay.
Come here. and not only is she calling for these brands to make some changes, she's actually asking us creators, the ones who are working with these brands one-on-one, to demand change, to demand inclusive models and inclusive sizing. And I'll admit, I have not been good about that. I sometimes try and make things fit. For instance, if they have what they say is a 3X, but their sizing chart indicates I can fit it. For example, Chic Soul, they had sweaters that were very roomy. I still worked with them. And so she's asking those of us who are doing that to demand that these places increase their sizing.
Yeah.
The only thing is, a lot of these brands have the same exact response, is, you know, well, our manufacturer, and we're working on it, and yada yada. So then you kind of get that feeling of, well, I don't want to miss out. Like, they're going to work with someone else.
Right, they will.
So I'd rather it be me. So that's kind of something I've been struggling with on my own. I want to work with brands. I want to work with brands that I like and that I support and that I think are doing good work. But there needs to be more done. Yeah. From me and from the brands.
Yeah. I hate watching you, not just you, but there's a lot of creators I know that shove themselves. Literally, they shove themselves into clothing to make it work, to work with the brand or to get paid by a brand. And that's super depressing, and it's not uncommon at all. I would say I would say every single plus size influencer has been there, even the size 14 girls, because I know the size 14 girls, some are shoving themselves into brands that only go up to like a large or XL, right? And then the plus girls who are on the higher end, the 26 or 28, are shoving themselves into like a 4X or a 3X because they only go up to a 3X. Yeah. So we've all been there and done. Like, I guess it's a moral gray area because obviously we don't want to deceive audiences or support a brand that isn't catering to our bodies. But at the same time, in the plus size industry, we don't have the same opportunities or the same amount of brands to work with. We're extremely limited.
Yeah, we only have so many options.
Have so many, and it's very few. It's very few options. So there are definitely times when you have to do what you have to do, and it should not be that way. And that's that's part of the fight. The fight for inclusivity is we shouldn't have to do that. We should never have to do that or feel like we need to support a brand that isn't catering to our bodies.
Right. Yeah, and so that kind of segues into other creators kind of putting themselves in the center of this call to action for these brands and sort of taking over this initiative that Saucye started. And we've personally seen it from people we know or know of in the community, and it keeps happening. It keeps happening where white or mid-size or thin creators are putting themselves in the middle of
they're putting themselves in the center of the conversation when they need to be a supporter. Of course, they can be a part of the conversation. They should be an amplifier. Exactly. That's exactly it. And time again, we're seeing these either white, mid-size, or thin influencers. I would say capitalizing on it. I would say viewing it as an opportunity rather than a social justice movement, rather than a fight for equal rights. You know, what it is. They're using it as a business opportunity to further themselves versus further the cause.
And so are brands, too.
And so are brands.
They'll say, you know, clothes for everybody, and you go and you search, and they only go up to a 2, 3X, and sometimes the sizing for those is not quite...
Oh, we'll get to that. That's our next conversation. But yeah, you know, it's really important to do your research and look into the history of these movements. And the plus size movement, the body positive movement, size inclusivity movement was started by Black women. It was started and championed by Black women for years and years and years and years. You know, this is not super new. This has been around. I don't know the exact start, but I know it's been many, many years that Black females, women of color have been at the center of this conversation and have been the true force of pushing these initiatives. And time again, they are not getting their credit. They're not getting credit that's due. Their voices are not being heard. And we're seeing that very recently. There's been 2 specific situations we've seen where white plus size females were given the opportunity to speak to news outlets and given the opportunity to speak about the cause when they were not properly informed on the cause. They were not the champions of the cause. They were not the creators of the cause. And even more sad is they didn't even know who those people were.
Right.
And this is going to be maybe controversial, but if you are body positive, if you are plus size, you need to know who these people are. You need to know Saucye West. You need to know Curvy Nyome. You need to know these Black women who have started these movements. You need to know what the movement is, and you should be supporting this movement and amplifying their voices, amplifying their posts, their blogs, their articles. You can, of course, talk about it yourself, but if a news outlet reaches out to you and wants to do a story, you better be talking about them. You better know your history, know your facts. And even more importantly, you better be suggesting to these news outlets, hey, you should be going straight to the source, which is Saucye West, Curvy Nyome, people like that.
Like, don't make up your own hashtag when there's already one out there that was made by a fat Black woman, because that is whitewashing.
It's whitewashing the cause.
And we also see a lot of thinner white women taking body positivity and saying, you know, we can be happy no matter what your size and, you know, accept and love your body. And that's not what it is. It is making sure the marginalized folks, the fat Black women, the fat women of color, are seen and heard, because they're not. And
they're not. And they're still not. And they're still not. To this day, they're still not. I don't think Saucye West... I believe she has not had the opportunity to talk to a major news outlet yet, and she's been fighting the fight for a very long time. Same as Curvy Nyome. Very few reporting on them and their cause, but we see tons of white influencers, thin influencers, midsize, speaking to these news outlets and championing their own cause. But we're all fighting the same fight, you know. So there's no reason to go create your own hashtag or create your own cause. We're all supposed to be part, and we should be part of this one cause, fight for inclusivity and body positivity.
Yeah, you need to use your platform to further amplify those voices. And I believe one of the instances Natalie and I might be referring to, I believe Saucye herself said, hey, you have a great platform, more than me, use it to amplify what I've already said, what I've already done. So that's what we need to do. We need to listen, and we need to take action. And I know personally myself, I haven't done a good job of that. And so sometimes it does take some of these folks to make some of these bad choices to see, wow, I have not been doing the work. I haven't been doing the right thing. And so we just wanted to have this conversation to have an open dialogue about it with our audience and with each other, and about ourselves and about what we're seeing and experiencing out in the body positive space.
Yeah. I think we can end this segment on telling our audience, telling our listeners what they can do to support. I think the number one thing you can do to support is to follow these body positive champions, follow these Black people of color, women of color who are championing the fight. Saucye West is a big one. Curvy Nyome is another. Those are just 2 of tens of Black and women of color who are fighting the fight and who have really started this this campaign.
Diversify your feed. Intentionally follow fat black women so that you can see a diverse feed show up. If you are scrolling and you're only seeing white women, if you're only seeing mid-sized women, you need to diversify your feed.
Yes.
So that is one of the things that I have done, and I highly recommend it. And you know what? You're going to see better content.
You absolutely are. Yeah. The second thing is to like their content, share their content, amplify their voices. If you have a platform, absolutely speak on it and share their content, share their initiatives, use their hashtags when you can. Really amplify their voices and absolutely become a part of the movement, but don't take over or take control of the movement. We need more people to be supporters and amplifiers. We already have our leaders. We already have our champions of the movement. So amplifying their voices is super important. The third thing you can do is to put your money where your mouth is. As Saucye West is saying, boycott certain brands, support others. We know that's difficult.
Yeah.
We know that's very difficult as creators. It's nearly impossible. And sometimes we can't do that. We can't boycott 20, 30 plus size brands because that's all we've got. So I understand that's not always possible, but even just doing research and looking into which brands are size inclusive, shopping at their stores as well as the ones that maybe aren't, supporting businesses that are doing the work with shopping and money is really important. And then I would say the last way that you can really, really help is to comment and DM these brands and say, when are you expanding? I love your products. I would love to shop here, but I'm a size 30. You don't carry my size. You would even be a size 14. I'm a size 14, but my friend can't shop with me. And I don't think that's cool. So call out these brands, and you can do it in a nice way. It doesn't have to be aggressive, but just simply ask them, do you intend on extending your sizes and when? And that's something that I've been doing fairly aggressively over the past probably 4 months. I've been DMing every single brand I work with, and I ask them point blank, are you expanding your sizes and when? And I will say that a majority of the time you will get a very generic, yes, of course we want to do this. Yes, we have plans to, in the future. And then when you press harder, when in the future? They're like, oh, we don't have a date on that yet, but that's definitely on our goal list and this and that. And okay, it would be nice to get a more concrete plan from them. They should have a concrete plan, but I think just if they're getting all this external pressure from customers, from creators saying, hey, these are our expectations for you, we're giving them every opportunity to live up to those expectations and to do the right thing. So please, again, DM, comment on these brands' posts, and just simply ask them, and you can do it in a very nice way, if they intend on extending their sizes and when.
Yeah. And just to I think Natalie already touched on this, but educate yourself and educate your friends and your community. I think that's super important. There are folks out there who do the work to educate, although they don't need to. So I subscribe to Anti-Racism Daily, and it is a daily email that you get. And then there's the Shine Brighter classes.
From Monique.
Yeah. So there are easy ways to educate yourself. Some of those ways are free, but you can also donate. You can do a one-time donation. You can do over time, multiple donations. I think some of the Shine Bright classes you can pay for, maybe even for the recording. But anyway, just, do the work. It's work.
Do the best you can.
Do the work.
There's always, you can always do more. You could spend your whole life researching and educating, and, I'm a firm believer of doing what you can with the resources you have, with the time you have. Do the work. No, it'll never be enough. We could always do more, but do something and be mindful and really be proactive about educating yourself and taking the steps necessary.
It just can't stop at posting a black square for BLM.
No.
That's not even the bare minimum. If anything, that was not good. Okay, anyway.
For this next segment, we are going to talk about how brands are profiting off of social social justice movement. This has been a problem for years, but I think it's gotten very bad over the last 2 years with BLM, with Pride Month, and now with body positivity. They are using social justice movements, which are very serious and very important, and using it just to further profits and not actually do the work. So we saw that with Pride Month in July. Every single brand was, yeah, we support LGBTQI+. Yes, we do. Yada, yada. Let's make, every single brand made pride flag merch, right? Rainbows everywhere. And then the joke or the meme is, August 1st, they take it off the shelves, discount it, sale, get rid of it, donate it, trash it, and that's all over, right?
Change the logo.
Change the logo back to normal. It's like, we support you for 1 month a year. Same with the BLM movement. We're going to donate this amount, or we're going to work with this % of creators. I would say a small fraction of brands actually did what they said they were going to do. Maybe 5%, maybe 10%, maybe less. I don't know the numbers. All I know is that a lot said they were going to do it, and hardly any did. And now with body positivity, that keyword size inclusivity, size inclusive and body positive have been thrown around left and right. We're seeing straight size brands say they're size inclusive, body positive when they carry up to an XL or a 3X or a 2X. That's not what size inclusivity is, but they brand themselves as such so people, mainly straight size women, can feel good about themselves.
Yeah. I saw on TikTok, size inclusive, fit, everyone can fit in this, whatever. And I saw it was Savage X Fenty, and I'm like, no, I've checked their sizing, I don't fit. So I'm like, are they announcing that they've expanded their sizing? No.
They are one of the worst culprits of this, because they do like that big fashion show. They just did it. They'll put plus size models in there. They'll put size 26, 28 women in there. But I think their sizing only goes up to like a 20, 22. I'm their largest sizing. And sometimes it does not fit.
Way I was going to fit in anything from them.
Not even close. Yeah. I barely fit. And sometimes I do not fit. And I'm a size 20.
Yeah.
So, no, they are not even close to size inclusive, but they brand themselves as such. Yeah. And there's lots of little boutiques who carry up to a 3X. Their 3X is really like a size 20, like an 18, 20. That's not size inclusive.
It's like, are they all getting it from the same manufacturer? And
they are. Well, boutiques
everyone's answer is the same. Oh, well, our manufacturer doesn't go up any higher.
Right. But are you demanding that your manufacturer extend? Yeah, it's just a money grab, and it's become so obvious. Like, even with the big box stores, like Walmart or Best Buy or this or that, Apple, whatever, being like, oh, we love gays, we're gay pride, yeah, we support it, oh, we support people of color, BLM, yeah. And then, like, okay, you stuck a rainbow sticker on something. You made a rainbow phone case, and maybe you made a phone case with the BLM fist, and then what's next, right? Like, that's it. It's like they support it for that month. They advertise the hell out of it. They spend all this money on advertising, but then, like, they never do anything deeper. It's all very superficial. Like, here's a rainbow backpack, here's a BLM backpack, moving on.
It's because they're not going to make money off of it the next month.
No, and they don't want to donate.
Buzzword.
They don't want to donate nothing. They don't want to give money away.
Yeah. No. So what are some examples that you know of, maybe some companies that said that they were going to do the work and they really let us down? Do you have any that you can think of? I know of a company that I can say I feel like has been doing the work, and that's Eloquii.
That's Eloquii.
They continue to amplify Black creators and designers, and I think just recently they had a Black disabled comedian that they just featured.
Yeah,
just the other
that was awesome. Yeah, they are doing the work. I agree. That's the one brand in the plus size sector who I do see doing the work for BLM, though.
Yes.
They're not doing the work with extending their sizes yet. I do expect that to come in the next year, and if it doesn't, I will be extremely disappointed. I've heard some rumblings that will be coming within the next year, and I'm expecting that from Eloquii. That's I'm talking to you. But they are doing the work in the BLM social justice movement, but that came after people really called them out. And I want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
Eloquii is doing that now because everyone was up in arms that they weren't doing it. And they put out a message like, we hear you, we see you, and then did nothing. And then people had to really go hard in the comments and DMs saying, I can't support you unless you're really going to do the work. And then they did stand up and do the work. Mm-hmm. So they were strong-armed. Let's just make that clear, though. And I think, no, I haven't seen a single brand, big brand, do the work on their own without being called out. And I think that is the main issue, is it's not until they're losing revenue or losing respect or prestige that they then do the work.
Yeah. One thing that I saw recently, Universal Standard had a new campaign recently about inclusivity and different, bodies. And from what I saw, people were still not happy with the representation that they had. They partnered with a black photographer, which was great, a black fat photographer, but the models still didn't really go above a 24, which is what we're asking for.
And we're very explicit about, like, BLM, they have a whole list of, like, what they want you to do, right? And even body positive plus size inclusivity, we have a list, we comment, we want you to extend your sizes above a 30 or a 26, above a 26, preferably above a 30. We want you to see more big plus size women above a 26. Like, we say that. And they still don't do it.
And they go up to like a 40, 42 or something.
Oh,
but
then that's unacceptable.
But they didn't use the models.
Right.
That's
unacceptable.
Yeah, so they have a great range.
Yeah.
Their stuff is very expensive and very basic.
Very expensive, very basic.
But yeah, from what I recall seeing of that, it was like, I'm bigger than these models. Come on.
That's super disappointing that they are size inclusive. They're on that list of size inclusive brands. They're doing that work, but then they're not representing that body. So it's like, are you ashamed that you carry up to a 44? Like, do you not want to show that you carry up to a 44? Like, what's the issue? Another brand I know not doing the work that I've called out multiple times, Swimsuits for All, and even bigger, that full beauty brands conglomerate, which has Catherine's, Roman's, Avenue, Swimsuits for All. They own like 10 different plus size brands. Swimsuits for All is doing nothing. They're not inclusive sizing. No. They are not using inclusive modeling at all. And they've said zero about BLM or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, they've worked with Gabby Fresh. I know that, but...
Yeah.
I think that's more like, here's our token fat black woman. And so there we did the work. But also, not everyone can fit, and it's also very expensive, but we don't care. And also, we're not going to ship it.
Yeah. I find it ironic that before BLM, because they've done at least 4 years of collections with Gabby Fresh, at least 4 or 5. They've done quite every year. They've been doing one for a while. And the first 2 years, they went very hard with promoting it. Because I remember way before I was a creator, I wanted to buy one of her swimsuits. They're very expensive. That's a whole other story. But they were like gorgeous, and like everyone on YouTube was reviewing them. Everyone on Instagram was reviewing them, and I really wanted one, and they were going very hard. And then it seems like after BLM, like this last year, they released the swimsuits, and we're just like, okay, they're on the website. Go buy them if you want, and that's it. Like, they didn't do the level of promotion that they've done in the past.
I know the creators,
which is ironic.
For sure, maybe that's why they maybe gave it to the creators to do. Because I definitely saw lots of creators with the suits before they were dropped yet, and advertising them. But
then the brand didn't do the advertising.
Yeah, I think maybe they were partnering with creators instead.
They have so many issues. They're not shipping their products. They're charging $20 to ship a bikini. They're like you can't like return your product half the time. You have to pay return shipping. There's nobody to answer your customer service. They're not supporting BLM. They're not supporting the size inclusivity movement. They're not advertising with plus size bodies. The list goes on with them. They're just like a chronic issues. They have chronic issues. It's always something with them. So that's one brand that I'm boycotting forever. unless, hey, I do believe in like redemption. Like unless one day they get a new CEO and that CEO is like, okay, like let's do some damage control. Let's get it together. Let's start, supporting what we say we're going to support.
Are there other brands that you are for sure boycotting? That you can think of?
Oh gosh, on the spot, I can think. I know that I am. I just have to think of it.
For me, Anthropology. I try to not even look at what they have.
That's hard for me.
Their stuff is very cute.
Very cute.
The models, not inclusive.
No.
The clothing, not inclusive.
No. It's not inclusive. I think the 3X goes up to a 24. Or is it 26?
I think I do fit in the
but
top
it's
size.
Tight on the top size, but not the bottom size.
Oh, I meant their highest size.
Oh, the highest size. The 3X.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it. Like it's like a 24, 26 depending on the cut of the item. Yeah.
And
it's very expensive.
Most of it for me is their model choice.
I get you.
There's not much diversity in skin color or in body shape size at all. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's always going to be like a personal choice of who you support, who you don't. At the end of the day, if you're not doing any work, it makes it very hard to support you. If you're not doing anything, if you're not supporting at least one, LGBT, BLM, or size inclusivity, if you could just do one, then you have some redeeming quality. If you can't even do one of them, you should be doing all. If you can't even do one, then geez, just put in your bio, we do not care about people. Just say it. Do you know what I mean? Just be forthcoming about it, because if you're not going to do the work that your customers are demanding and wanting, then how can I give you my money?
Yeah. And a lot of these companies, these plus size companies, are they owned by men?
Oh god, that's a whole nother issue. It really bothers me. I don't know why. I'm in business. I graduated with a business degree. I have a business degree. I have business certificates. I've been in business for many years. I understand that it's a male-dominated field. But it feels so weird that women's fashion in general is dominated by men. All the major, even skinny bitches, even the skinny bitches companies, luxury brands, majority are head by men. Like Gucci and Chanel and this and that. It's all head by men. And then straight size companies, head by men. Plus size companies, head by men. I find it more alarming with the plus size companies because the whole plus size movement was started by black women. You would think that black women would be in charge, and they should be in charge, but it's still white, straight men.
Yeah, or even in any jobs in the company, any higher
positions.
Yeah.
I think if you don't have plus size women in your higher positions, you're never gonna make it to being a top tier company. You won't.
You're at the very least gonna need some consulting from black women.
Absolutely. You can't make a product and not have that target audience in your leadership positions.
Which honestly is a good idea, even if you have fat black women in your company. Hire fat black women to consult with, and understand what you need to do, because there are wonderful fat black women who are doing that work. Find them and use them.
It's not hard to find them. It's not hard to pay them.
Yeah.
And it'll make such a big difference in the business. Yeah.
It'll only help.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I understand business is all about money, but it's how are you making products when you don't even have your audience in your company in the leadership role telling you what they're looking for, what they want, giving you feedback internally. And I think that's why a lot of plus size companies are having issues with fit, having issues with style, having issues, across the board because they do not have plus size women in their leadership roles.
Yeah.
And so they're not getting that important feedback. They're getting it from their customers, but I think they can easily brush that off as like, oh, that one just didn't work for that one customer or those 5 customers, when if they had a plus size woman in their leadership role, they could hear it internally.
That kind of makes me think of Torrid, though, because I've been disappointed for a while in their cuts and their styles, but I'm fairly certain they do have women.
What about Lane Bryant? I think Lane Bryant's in that. So that's kind of interesting, is like, for me, and I still believe this to be true, Lane Bryant and Torrid are the top 2 revenue-wise for plus-size fashion. I believe this is true. They've both been around for years. Torrid just celebrated 20. Lane Bryant is the first ever plus-size company. They started in like 1908, something like that. Lane Bryant is OG, the plus-size company.
You can tell.
And I think they're both struggling with style. I think they're both struggling a little bit with fit. Definitely style. And I believe one is run by a woman, Torrid, and the other one is run by a man, Lane Bryant.
I think it's Liz Munoz, the CEO.
Right. But even if it has a woman CEO, if the people under her and the people on the board, this is a public traded company now, the people on the board, if this is all white men, she can't steer the entire ship herself. That's not how it works, just because she's CEO. If the product designer is a white man and all the people on the board of directors are white men and the marketing director's a white man and they're all men, she...
If the product designer is a
That's what I'm saying.
Man,
if the product designer is a man, she can only give so much input.
Yeah.
She's one person.
Yeah.
She can't steer $1 billion, I think that they might be, company. It's like, that's a lot of pressure to put on one fat woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the whole point, is you can't just have one person. It needs to be throughout all levels of the company that needs to be represented. Your client, your customer needs to be represented in the people you're hiring that are running your company.
Yeah, I don't know their hierarchy at all.
No,
I really just
and that's
know
the
her
thing. We
like
don't know about that
Yeah.
with any of the companies. I feel like they're very guarded in who their employees are and how many women they have, how many people of color they have. And I know why, because people have been calling out brands. We want to know. We want to know how many people of color are in your company. We want to know how many women are in your company. We want to know who are making these decisions, because they're not good ones. Lastly, I think the issue with these companies and what we've seen time and time again is the, round up your purchase and we'll donate the 50 cents to breast cancer awareness or BLM or Cancer Society or whatever it might be. I always say no, because they take that money, they donate it under their company name, and they get a tax write-off. So never ever round up your money at the store, whether that's Vons or the grocery store, whether that's Target does that all the time, whether I know Torrid does that all the time. I think Lane Bryant all the time, they have it like every time you check out. They are getting tax write-offs that way. They are taking your money and donating it and write it off in taxes. Donate the money yourself directly. I believe the limit is $300. I don't know if that's going to be for this year. I know it was last year. You can donate $300 and write that off your taxes. Donate yourself. Donate yourself and get the tax write-off yourself, because this is how these companies are disguising themselves as supporting causes, right? Supporting charity. It's just a money grab for them. It genuinely is. They are just donating your money and writing that off their taxes.
Don't feed into it.
Don't feed into it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, companies are, it's all about bottom line. It's always about profits, no matter what. No matter what. I'm not talking about small businesses. I'm talking about corporations. At the end of the day, it's all about the bottom line, no matter what. And they're not going to make a decision unless it is profitable. They will not do anything unless it is profitable. So just remember that when you're, you know, shopping at stores, especially big brands, Target, Walmart, Torrid, Lane Bryant, it's all about the bottom line, and people are not first. Sad reality. But that's why you support small businesses, because a lot of them, it is people first. Of course, everyone has to make money, you know.
If you're not first, you're last.
Ooh.
Ricky Bobby.
It's a great time to support small businesses. There's more small businesses than ever in the entire world of history. Yeah. There are more small businesses.
What I did last year for Christmas was I only shopped small Black-owned business. So I encourage you to try doing that.
That's really fun too.
Yeah, it was fun. Because the gifts that I gave were so interesting and unique and different, and so maybe try that. Maybe for birthdays, for the holidays. I love that. Maybe you start with your toiletries. Start there. Because there's so many amazing like skincare, hair care.
There are,
you know, candles. So many amazing companies that are Black owned, small. Try Etsy. That's a great place. I love
Etsy, but you have to be careful to make sure it is like handmade and like real. Always check out their social media, because sometimes it's just resellers, which suck. But you're right, that's good. That's really great to try and do small business shopping for the holidays.
I'll be coming out with some gift guides for the holidays.
Oh, I love that.
Shop small and then shop Black owned.
Do you have a couple like of your favorite small businesses you want to shout out?
I love Juvia's Place for Makeup. Absolutely love it. I think makeup. Brio Gio is the hair care that I got you. Ari's Picks, it's not handmade by her, but she like collects some fun little things in her shop. Well, she does make some things. Worthy and Badass, she hand makes jewelry, keychains. I have like a little plant holder from her.
That's fun.
What's the clothing place they got into Nordstrom's? You bought like a hot pink set from them.
Oh, Zelly for She. Yeah. I really do like Zelly for She. It is more expensive, but their quality is really good.
And they have some like sequin.
Yeah, they do some really fun pieces. I hope they do sequins again for holiday. Yeah.
And honestly, there's some like skincare candles.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of them out there that I like. I can't even think of because there are so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there were more. Plus, I think, Reb Dolls is owned by a Black woman, I believe. But
Reb Dolls is a whole other conversation.
And then Nomads is also owned by a Black woman.
That's
also proud. We've
got conversation about those, but yes.
It's still worth your support.
Yeah. You know what I'm loving on TikTok? My TikTok is just filled with small businesses now, and I love it. I love finding the handmade products, and I'm suckered in like every day. So some of my favorite small businesses, the first one's Wicker Darling. They're based in Australia. It's owned by a single mother, Jazz, and she is the sweetest. She always answers her DMs and like has conversations, and she posts memes on her business page, which I think is really fun. And she has like one teenage son, and she talks about how, you know, she's a single mother that was struggling, and now she's built, you know, a small business that's become she can live off of.
They're constantly pre-sold out, right?
Yeah, they only do pre-orders, and then you get the bag in like 8 months. So it's definitely something you have to be very patient for. But they're handmade wicker bags in the shape of animals, and they're handmade from women in the Philippines. So it's a women-led team in the Philippines. They hand make it. She pays them fair wages. Like really important stuff. Sustainable because it's real wicker, so it's, you know, plant-based materials, recyclable in a sense because it's like wicker. Wicker is like a reed.
Natalie's.
Yeah, very expensive, but again, handmade, handcrafted, women-led business.
Gift.
Oh my God, such a good gift.
But you got to plan it a year ahead.
Every month she does, like, she'll have a few bags left over that she'll sell that you can get that month.
Oh, that's great.
So that you can try and fight for one of those, or you can do the pre-order. Yeah. She's like my top small business I love. Yeah. Another one I'm so excited to buy from, I forgot about the recent launch, and things go in a minute, is, I want to say Lale Pottery or Lalo Pottery. She makes mugs, and they are so whimsical and so cute, handmade pottery. She's also a small business.
I definitely know of like a clay earring business, but I can't think of the name right now.
I love all the jewelry ones. Oh my god, I'm a sucker for jewelry. Like, I go on Etsy to look for like handmade rings and stuff.
Yeah, I think I worked with M&M Jewelry. I think they're like a mom and daughter duo based out of San Diego. I worked with them recently.
That's
they
fun.
do jewelry. So yeah, there's lots of great.
And then lastly, Zelly for She for plus size fashion. I really enjoy their more unique designs. They have a lot of loungewear, which is super comfy. I got a pink loungewear set a couple months ago. I can't wait to wear it for like winter because it is very thick, very high quality. And I can't wait for like sequins for holiday. So Zelly for She, that's Black woman owned.
Yes.
And they are also at Nordstrom's, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's some of our favorite small businesses. I know Victoria's going to release a guide. I might do that too. That's a good idea for holiday.
Yeah. Well, our guides are going to be very different.
They will. They will. Yeah. Awesome.
So now we're going to talk about what it takes to be an influencer, all the work that goes into it, because when you're looking from the outside, you don't realize just how many jobs you have to do once you start getting into content creation, blogging, influencer world. So we wanted to talk about it because we bitch and complain to each other about it all the time. And we wanted to bitch and complain to you.
We want to bitch and complain to you guys.
Yeah.
But it's funny because we just talked about small businesses, but being an influencer really is a small business. You're wearing all the hats. You're a photographer, you're an editor, you're a designer, you're a business manager, you're an accountant, you're a marketer, you're all of these things. It really is like running a small business completely yourself. Hopefully you have a good support system, like a friend such as Victoria, or a partner that can really support you, family members that can support you, because I think it truly is impossible to do alone. Like, if I didn't have Victoria and I didn't have a partner, I think it would be nearly impossible to do alone, just because of the sheer amount of work, but also just the sheer amount of stress and anxiety that comes along with it that people really don't talk about much.
Yeah, the burnout.
The burnout is real. I'm feeling it right now. I think I feel it a majority of the time, honestly. It comes and goes, but I would say I feel it much more than half the year. And it's sad to say that I've really only been taking Instagram seriously for about 1 year or 13 months now. And I feel burnt out after a year. And people have done this for 10 years, for 15 years, and it's like, the burnout is real.
Yeah.
It's really real when you're posting every day. And I used to post twice a day.
Yeah.
And now holidays here. Holiday is the biggest time for influencers. It's go, 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 go. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress.
Yeah, so what I did is, even though I don't have a lot of money, I started to outsource.
Yeah, you
and
did.
that's the only thing that really keeps me sane. At one point I had a YouTube channel and I was paying for those videos to be edited. This blog gets edited. The video and the audio gets put together by a friend of mine. I have someone engaging with new accounts. I now have hired someone to help me with my blog. Because I need to make sure that I have my own channel, because you pour a lot of time and energy into these social media channels and you just don't know if they're gonna implode one day. If they're just gone, that's it. You don't have a platform, you don't have an audience. So I'm making it a bigger effort this year, or I guess next year, to blog consistently, build up my email list, and that is a whole other, that I put to the side because I knew that I was at my capacity. It's just a whole other portion of what you want to think about when you're an influencer. Another income stream, but a lot of work.
Yeah, just Instagram is a full-time job.
Yeah.
So adding on YouTube, a blog, TikTok, Pinterest, all these things. It's like adding on either a part-time or a full-time job on top of that each time. I think it's really smart that you outsource, but it's very expensive, as you said. It's an investment in your business. I feel scared to take that step just because, yeah, it feels great to make all the money, and I'm working 2 jobs or 3 with Instagram, and I'm making good money, and it's like hard to then give that away back into the business. But that is a business mindset. That's how you're going to grow. It's how you scale. Exactly.
And you have been in business school and know business things. You know that's what you need to do, but
it's hard not to be a dragon. A dragon is like, that hoards all the gold, right? You hoard the wealth, but then you don't recycle it, you don't spread it, and so it doesn't grow, right? Yeah. So it's hard not to be a dragon. And I think that's my main problem.
My thing, and we talked about this in our last episode, we don't want children. And a lot of people, and this will make sense in a second, a lot of people think of their children as an extension of them, and that's what they're going to leave in the world, and that's how they're going to really affect the world, is when they're gone, their children lives on. I want a business that employs people. Yeah. I want a business that makes a difference and makes a change, and I'm doing that by employing other people and growing it. So I'm not just growing it for me, I'm growing it for the people I pet. Yes, it's for the world. It is my baby.
Wow, you're so selfless, Victoria. It's not for you at all.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just the face, baby.
Uh-huh. Of course, we want to be wealthy as well. We want to own a business. We want to, do something we love and make a good living off of that. And also, spread good in the world.
My success will be other people's success, too, is the thing.
Okay.
What? No, I'm serious. I already pay people to help me now, and when that gets even better, I'll pay more people to help me then.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, you become an employer. I hope you become a fair employer. Not like whipping people. You have to work 16-hour days.
What I want is people who are self-motivated and boss me around. I hate micromanaging. I want to be micromanaged by I want people to take ownership.
Yeah.
If you think that there's something that you can help me with and you're really good at it and you just want to take ownership of something, contact me, and if I've got a spot for you, you're hired.
I love that.
Yeah.
No, it's true. You want a self-starter, someone who is confident in their work and who does the work and doesn't need to be micromanaged.
Yeah. Just tell me what you need from me. I'll do it.
That's the dream. That's what I'm working towards for sure. Because I am paying someone to do my blogs now.
Good.
The thing is, I have to finish the blogs. Like, I have to do the images and I have to do the cover art, and I can't even get myself to do that hour of work for each one. So my blogs are backed up.
So my blog person has her own blog, and she knows how to do those graphics, she'll send them for approval, and I'll give her some notes or whatever. But my hiccup has been with SEO and keywords and stuff. So I've been sending her resources, and we've had video calls, and I'm like, you know what, if this takes weeks for us to even get the first blog up, that's fine, because we just have to put in this work in the beginning, and then you're going to get it, and, then we're good. And eventually I'm just going to, skim the blog posts and post it on up.
Yeah, it's just, everything's a lot of work. I'd love to go back to YouTube. I really want to go back to YouTube.
You could do shorts.
I need to get an editor for that.
But you could do shorts if you're already making reels. Reels can go on Instagram, TikTok, and
I don't want to do
shorts.
And
they can go on Pinterest.
Full videos. No one wants to. If I go on YouTube, I want to watch a 25-minute video.
Oh.
I don't want to watch a 5-minute video.
Oh.
And that's a lot of people on YouTube. That's a majority. A majority of people who watch vlogs or makeup videos or day in my life videos or story times, they want at least 15-20 minute videos.
See, I'm usually on YouTube for how-tos, and if someone could show me how to do something in less than a minute, that would be amazing.
But you're not making how-tos. That's the whole thing.
No, I'm not. No,
We're doing
but I'm saying
fashion and stuff like that.
I'm going. Yeah, if it's just here's quickly how to style a white tee 5 ways, whatever.
I feel like if I want that though, I'll just go to Instagram or TikTok to do a quick little thing. YouTube is for long format video. So I want to do that.
I know originally that go for it. Best of luck. Mine got deleted. Mine was flagged for spam.
Did you ever restart it? You did, didn't you?
I did a second one, and it was a lot of money and a lot of work, and and I just wasn't feeling it. You gotta protect yourself, your own mental health, and that's what that was.
Yeah.
Put that on pause.
Yeah, I had to put mine on pause.
Yeah.
It just became too much.
Because
way too much.
You're thinking about photo content for Instagram, video content for Instagram and TikTok, and beyond that, it's also working with brands and engaging with the audience you already have, as well as new audience, and what to post every freaking day, and what fashion is dropping, next week, and do I order and return stuff, or it's a lot.
It's a lot, and it takes a toll on your mental health.
And posting affiliate links so that you're making money when there's no brand deals.
It takes a toll. It takes a toll physically, and it takes an even bigger toll mentally on your mental health.
Our big photo shoots that we have to do in the middle of the day in the hot sun for fall, winter stuff.
It's horrible. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, and there's a lot of days that I don't want to do it anymore. Not like I don't want to be an influencer anymore. It's like I just can't self-motivate myself to do the video, to do the photo shoot, to edit the reel, whatever it might be. It's just too much. Yeah. So you're right. I do need to outsource a lot more. But it's also hard, like, not having that. Like, I'm a control freak, so that's a hard thing for me too. But
yeah, I know. I understand that. I'm personally not like that. It is hard for me to give up control of something, but I'm just like, it's gonna be better because this person is going to be spending their main focus, their main time on this task, and they probably do it better than me, they probably do it faster than me,
it's true.
And they're gonna want to do a good job because they're getting paid for it. So that's kind of how I think of it.
No, it's true.
If I did a blog post, it's going to be half-assed and not super entertaining, and probably not great evergreen content that people are going to want to read years from now.
Right.
But if I'm paying someone who's focusing on plus-size fall fashion trends 2021, and they're putting in research and finding out what the trends are, it's going to be on trend, and it's going to be something entertaining, and that's coming soon. I'm going to start dropping them on Tuesday.
Good.
Tuesdays. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to start doing mine. I'll have 1 or 2 dropping this week, my blogs. Then it'll be weekly at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot of work being an influencer, and it's not all glitz and glam. It's a lot of getting dirty and being exhausted and being burnt out and being depressed and being tired and being anxiety ridden.
Overflowing inbox of emails.
Usually,
can we send you a pair of glasses that you
take 20 photos in
and do a video and put on your
the amount of emails I get like that.
You know what's wild to me? Brands that are not inclusive sizing wise asking me
still email you.
Yeah,
I get that too.
Columbia is expanding their sizing, but only to a 3X, and I'm like, I can't fit in your expansion. So when you expand your expansion, let me know.
When you expand your expansion, I love that.
Yeah.
I don't even answer those brands. Like, I guess Columbia's a big brand, but if it's like, if it's a company that's like, we'll give you a pair of eyeglasses and do like 3 posts for us, I just ignore it. I really do. I can't. I used to take the time to be like, no, and here's why, and like, let me educate you. But now I just don't. If it's super insulting, sometimes I'll say, well, my favorite line that I used to use was, I'm not looking for a sales position. A lot of companies will offer you a product, and you post it, and they'll give you commission on sales. To me, that's a sales job. That's a commission-based sales job. So I will respond, I'm not looking for a sales position at this time. Because that's exactly what it is. And they never answer me back after that. But it's just like, I'm not looking to be a salesperson. Like, to be a commission-based salesperson. Yeah. I'm not looking to work for free completely unless it's a brand I really believe in.
They're just out there casting a wide net.
The widest net. Yeah. They're emailing everyone. And it's like, you're ruining your brand's reputation. Anyways, I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I'm exhausted. I know, like, I'm very privileged in the sense that I get to do this. And don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful. But I'm also, like, my mental health is taking a plunge. And I'm burnt out. And I have a lot of anxiety. And I have a lot of stress. And I'm working 3 jobs. And that's the thing, I'm working my ass off. And even my mom was like, something has to change. Like, you can't keep going on like this. Like, you're going to kill yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it definitely feels that way. Like, I never felt how I do now with, like, when people say, like, oh, like, I'm working myself to death. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel that. Like, I'm pushing myself so hard.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to change?
I'm going to have to hire some people. I'm going to have to outsource. Yeah. I'm already doing the blogs, which is good, but I'm going to have to outsource. Maybe someone to edit reels and stuff like that.
I'm sure there's someone on Fiverr.
Edit TikToks and stuff like that. Anyways, again, I'm very, proud of myself and happy for where I am now. Very privileged, but it's a lot. You go through a lot.
And when you're a business owner, you work 24/7 too. That's
your life is your work. Your work is your life.
Everything is content.
Everything.
Like everything I do, I want to take video and picture of. So that's not even just an influencer thing. That's just a business owner.
That's a business thing. No, that's what I'm saying. We're small businesses. This is applicable to any business. If you're looking to start working for yourself in any capacity, even if that's like a contract worker, you want to be like a freelancer, graphic designer, or writer, or software engineer, or whatever it is. If you're working for yourself, if you're working on a contract, if you're freelancing or starting a small business, these are things you really have to deal with. And there's a ton of pros to it, tons of pros, but the hardest part is finding that work-life balance, that mental health balance. But you have to, or you will be burnt out, depressed, suicidal. It can get really ugly. So
please take care of yourself.
Take care of your health. Take care of your mental health, physical health, just well-being.
I care about you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. Sorry to end on a depressing note. Oh my gosh. Well, here's a fun little thing. While we were filming, my boyfriend said he found a really nice car wash place. So if he ever wants me to hold on.
Okay.
Start over. If I ever want him to wash my car, he will do it at this place. And
that's nice. Is that like near you?
I don't know.
Oh.
Just take my car. I don't know.
Okay, he'll take your car.
Anyway, so I just thought that was cute.
That is sweet.
So that's a fun little thing right here at the end of the.
That's good.
Video.
We ended on a good note.
Do you have any fun little nuggets that you could share?
Absolutely not. I'm depressed. Hi.
Okay, sorry.
My fun little nugget. I'm just happy to have
Fugget.
A Fugget. My Fugget. Yeah, let's end on a Fugget. I'm glad that I have you, Victoria, and my husband to support me and keep me sane.
He's my photographer. What would I do without you?
Yeah, exactly. You have to be nice to him. Alright guys, thank you so much for listening in or watching, and we will see you in our next episode.
And follow us at the BoPo Besties.
Follow the
BoPo Besties podcast.
Yes.
Thank you
Fly
for
a Ginger,
yeah.
Fly for a Coach, NatalD.com, flyforginger.com.
Yes.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
We're everywhere.
Support us. We need it. We need your love.
Thank you.
Bask
Love
us
you.
in love. All right. Bye.